Hello, everyone.
Hello. As usual, we wait for 1 more minute and we'll start.
I prepared some description for stage for stablecoin contest. Now
Yeah, I see.
it's in chat. Maybe somebody reads near to the end of our meeting. And
I propose that I will just give you some time at the end of the meeting and you will just explain
yes, all like this.
Yeah, what you wrote. Okay, not so many of us today. All right, so let's start. In any case, so welcome everyone to our 25th weekly governance call of the DeFi group of the Freeton. And we have not that big agenda for today, but still, let's go through it. So first, and it's a very important question, so we need to schedule the payment session, but I don't see much of governance members today attending the call, and I think that we will do this in the chat. Alexander, are you available tomorrow evening or today evening? Which time is better for you to arrange the payment session?
If you talk about me, today I'm ready for all day, or better in Monday, if not today.
Okay. Today or Monday, brilliant. I will just drop it in the payment chat and we will just ask everyone which time is better. Next topic on the agenda is Bitcoin bridge discussion. Actually, we have touched it slightly quite a long time ago. So now it's time to discuss it again and approach to the launching of this contest. I know Sergei Shashev wanted to say a few words about this. So Sergei, please.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. Hello. Sorry, I need few minutes because a lot of people in the room. I will be ready in 10 minutes.
Okay, no problem. I hope that we will just take this time. Alexander, then I propose maybe that you start with your proposal on staging, so then you can just use this time to describe and explain.
Yes, because not so much DeFi participant here. I said it's more for recording and when somebody will listen. Because that I will not explain what I offer in every stage. We talk about contest, stablecoin contest.
For a long time, yes.
Yes, nearest future. We want to do this contest. Now everybody's so busy with DEX contests, bridges, and other mechanisms, and entity markets to now start this hype. But stablecoin, we really need Freeton needs and stablecoin, and was hard decision how to share with these stages. And here in the chat, in the draft documents, I suggest to have four stages. It's as we vote and recommend for every development, every implementation. Yes. we think that it's a good idea to do it in some stage, for example, in fall. And here alpha version, and the most important in this version, we did mechanism for stabilization, stablecoin itself, and stabilization mechanism, and testing environment for testing stabilization. It will be price stabilized or not. The most important thing for your attention, it's I offer one criteria for first stage to do description that every participant needs to describe what they will do on the next first stage, what they done on this stage, it will do on the next 3 stages. Why? Because okay, I described what we think possible to do on the next stage, but if we looked to submission from design contest for stablecoins, it was very different submission, very different mechanism, and sometimes it's impossible to have some mechanism. For example, in the beta version, next stage, second stage, I offered to do oracles mechanism. But for example, for algorithmic stablecoins, sometimes it doesn't need, they do it in different way. Because that we offer 4 stages. Second, about oracles. Third, it's MVP product where we have a stablecoin mechanism stabilization and oracles, and all this connected and work together. It's on the 3rd stage. And on the 4th, it's finished product with all the bot, UX, and all voting or DAO, decentralized automation organization mechanism. It means that very important on the last 5th stage, stablecoin should be driven by decentralized mechanism. If of course it's not type 1 stablecoin pegged to fiat. And this is all. Everybody needs to look attentively, read, and suggest them. But one very important thing for your attention, it's, as I said, on the 1st stage, we offer that every participants needs to give their own roadmap for next stage. And I recommend to discuss it in jury group or in our DeFi group. Discuss their stages before they put their submissions in blockchain. This is that very different from previous what we do, because that we need to discuss it's good idea or not. That's all.
Okay. Actually, I agree that we need some kind of milestones for this contest. So it probably will be the same chain contest as we used to have for bridges, for example. Yeah, so we have Mitya raise hand. So Mitya, please.
Yeah, well, the architectures are very different, at least from like our architecture with Andrew is very different from like others. And the question is like, okay, so we let's say we do this, you know, proposal with the stages. These stages will be entirely different from other participants. What you're going to do with them next?
Yeah, that's actually the questions that I also had in mind. So that's I'm not sure if there should be 3 or 4, maybe only 2 stages. So we won't understand this unless the first implementation is done. Maybe we can somehow try to tackle more generic stages for each and all also stable coins. I don't know. So the first version was manually stabilized price. Second version with, I don't know, automatic stabilized price, and third version with DAO inside. I don't know. So we need to discuss. Need to think about this, and maybe it's worth to. I don't know. Actually, yeah, Mitya, please.
No, I'm sorry. I want to lower the hand.
Okay. I already did this. I keep an eye on this. Yeah. So anyone, please, everyone, have a look on this proposal and give your ideas in text or directly to Alexander.
Yeah, I want to put some words here because I'm looking to proposal and I have questions about oracles, because oracles is an important part for all DeFi ecosystem. DEXs need an oracles, stablecoin need an oracles, and I think that's a good idea. Set up contest for oracles like independent contest, not inside in stablecoin contest.
Yeah, and actually we had this in our initial DeFi roadmap that we presented to the main governance. And
yes, I remember.
I think it's worth it. Yeah. So maybe I will take care of drafting this proposal, and so we'll post it.
Yeah, and we will actually, like the big part of our design for stablecoin is an Oracle design, so that will already cover part of implementation for us. And we will gladly participate in that.
Okay, you can even make a draft yourself, so if you wish.
Oh, the contest?
Yeah, it's draft for
Oracle. It's easy. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, so please do so, and then we'll discuss this, because you have the actual experience and understanding of how it should be, and so yeah, it will be a good starting point for discussion. Okay. Any other opinions, guys?
Yeah, I looked at what Alexander proposed, and I think that the easiest thing is, yes, to combine maybe second and third stage. The third stage, which is finished product, is, I think, at this stage it can be even optional, because we don't know what would be implemented up to the third stage, and it can be changed in the future. For sure. And I also agree we should make it more generic, and maybe we should exclude oracles from alpha stage. But again, a lot of proposals that we saw on the design contest, they are heavily dependent on the oracles, which in my case means that stablecoin itself depends on the contest for oracles. If we don't want every participant to make his own implementation of the oracles. So it's a good question to think about for everyone. Should we make this contest dependent on the Oracle contest, or should we try to generalize and make it more generic at the alpha stage?
I agree. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I really think that we will just face some teams constraints, so as we used to have for the DEX contest, that people cannot participate in both contests at the same time, and there is not so many teams who are able to do this. So probably we should prioritize Oracle's contest first, and right after run the stablecoin contest. Yes, Mitya, please.
Yeah, well, the thing with oracles, like, do we need to discuss the architecture of that first?
Of course we do.
So the contest will include, like, the architecture part should include, or just the implementation part?
As with Dune, I think we can run a short architecture contest for just a couple of weeks and get some results, because I think that for Oracle's part, it's not more complex than the DEX contest, and arguably, but
yeah, well, because it's very like, if we for me, like, I of course prefer, because I will participate in the architecture, because I think I know how to, like, do that. But but it, of course, it depends on then how the contest should be drafted. So if there is a first stage is a is our architecture, then I will just draft this part, the contest, and will be very broad.
Yeah, I think that's the right step. What do you think, guys?
As our prior experience shows that architecture contests, they always give great insights for every other team on the implementation stage. So if we have time, then it's always good to have an architecture contest before implementation.
Okay, then a deal. Good. Mitya, can you please draft the architecture contest for oracles?
Yes, sure.
And we'll discuss this. Okay. Any other opinions? No. Very good. Okay, so now we will start with Sergei report about the Ton Alliance news, and then we'll also slightly shift to the Bitcoin bridge discussion.
Yeah, hello everyone. Some news from Ton Alliance. We have near 5 funds who are ready to provide liquidity to our bridge, liquidity to the system. We have some requirements for it. It's about security audit. We had a minimum 10 conversations with different audit company who will already do it. One of this company was in our last call, Uniswap. And also we have 2 companies who already audit our bridge. It's very difficult for them because it's not a simple case. It's not about Ethereum smart contracts. It's different and new blockchain. And we developed a lot of different parts of bridge on Rust. And there are not a lot of people who can audit Rust components. And I think we will work with them. We can start audit only in June. And so I think I will call to Mitya about how to do it. Not in June, maybe in April. Because only after audit, of course, the initial members of the alliance, we can put some funds before audit, but of course it will be more safety for all. Do it after audit. Pavel?
Yeah, they do talk with Sergei Mixed Bytes. They do audits. I think that technically, I think they can start earlier.
With Mixed Bytes, our team talked and about audit on Rust. It's not simple for them.
Really? Oh, they have Rust developers for sure. And Sergei do it. I know. I talked with him.
Okay, maybe I should talk with him directly. Okay, it's about audit, and also we have a pipeline from 4 companies who ready to build different projects in our ecosystem. It's 2 big players from Ethereum ecosystem and 1 Stars team who want to create decentralization's launchpad. Very interesting architecture. We are talking with them, and maybe it will be first company who will work with DeFi Alliance. Also, we created bridge update on this week. On this week. We discovered some issues and we fixed it. It was a long process, and this is why we moved our listing on Uniswap from this week to next week. And so I hope on next week we will create listing on Uniswap. We will put liquidity from both sides, and we will understand what people from DEX community will think about our work, about Freeton, because a lot of people don't know about Freeton, and it will be new and interesting how we will understand and about Freeton on DEXs. It will be interesting experience for us too. Yes, also we started creating content about DeFi news from our funds, and I don't know, Vlad, did we put first?
Yeah, we are just finalizing the text, and we'll publish shortly.
Yes, and because we have funds analytics, I told you now about different members of the DeFi Alliance. We will set most important things and put it content to our chats for Freeton community. So I think in next call we will show something.
Should we maybe create some announcement for listing on Uniswap for the Freeton community, so they could?
Yes, of course. For my side, the best announcement it will be link to trading pairs after listing.
Okay, but maybe people would like to, just use this opportunity to just put some liquidity on the Uniswap.
Yeah, Alexander.
Alexander, please.
Alexander, mute.
Sergei, how do you think? Maybe it's a little bit need to do later. I mean, about putting liquidity pool, yes, in Uniswap. I mean, maybe it's you need to do after that. We have DEX on Ton. I mean, looks, some people understand that it's possible comes to Freeton, but they realize that it's possible to do trading in Freeton with less commission. Why they will do it?
Because we want to set up some primitive yield farming mechanic in Uniswap, and all providers liquidity will get some Ton crystals, but for getting it, we will need install wallets and we need discovery Freeton ecosystem.
Yes, if we will be farming, it's good idea.
Yeah, of course.
With DEX or without DEX, of course.
Yes, because there are no.
Thank you.
A lot of liquidity, our liquidity, independent liquidity, and also some team who created DEX talked with us about liquidity for DEXs, and our answer now, we're ready to provide liquidity. When DEX will be ready, we will test it in trading, and we will create some audit for its stuff, and we will ready provide up to 100K liquidity to all DEXs who will really work.
Okay, very good.
Understand, thank you.
Very good. So again, maybe you just explain in a few words on how teams should apply for this. So should they contact you directly, or maybe go to the site of Ton Alliance.org?
I watching for DEXs, for works, and I saw only Mitya work. What it's near to production maybe. Because it will be interesting experience start trading and surf, and so when we will see ready DEX in production, we will connect directly, because I know all teams who are working on the DEX.
Okay, very good. Yeah, Pavel, please.
Yeah, Mitya, can you please comment regarding production ready? I think it is.
We're working very hard on that all the time. We'll run today like a video session, as I said, we'll post it, and we will cover some additions which are not part of the contest already, which was done, some like refactoring and optimizations. But I think that, I think it's not a long time before it will be ready.
Okay, very good. Any questions, guys? Please to Sergei on the Ton Alliance announcement, or we move next. No, very good. Okay, Sergei, you also wanted just to ignite the discussion for Bitcoin bridge. So please.
Yes, about Bitcoin bridge. I just remember about it maybe last week ago when I talked with one fund from South Korea, and we're talking that guys, the main liquidity active now.
Am I the only one who don't hear Sergei? Sergei, we don't hear you.
Ready to move a lot of Bitcoin.
Just please repeat your previous words because we didn't hear you.
Okay, are you hearing me?
Yeah, right now we do.
I have conversation with one Korean fund, and we're ready to move a lot of Bitcoin to liquidity in Freeton because we are like Bitcoin, we like Freeton, and we don't like Ethereum ecosystem. And
but beautiful
yes,
customers.
beautiful customers, yes. And we have only draft, and we have no team who ready to implement it now. But I think we should to run contest, and maybe someone will implement it.
Okay. At least there should be the contest for design and architecture of this bridge because it will be different from Ethereum, as far as I know. And at least for this stage, we will just test how many teams are able to participate. Maybe we can somehow leverage the Dune community as well with the talented developers and invite them also to participate. Of course, they are now occupied with the swap contest, but I think that idea is good. Mitya, maybe you can also say a few words. So if you plan to participate in this contest, or maybe you know someone who can participate.
I need to. Well, let's first do the architecture.
Yeah, sure. But at least participate in the architecture.
Yeah, we'll try.
Yes, and because we have no already teams for it contest, maybe we can create a problematic article and put it on Cointelegraph, Bitcoin.com, or other partners. And it should be a philosophic article about Bitcoin, about Ethereum, about Freeton, and about this contest.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so who can draft this article? Maybe some guys from Ton Alliance can do.
Maybe yes. We will prepare with this article. We'll put it to my task list.
Okay.
Because I know.
Yeah, we just need to synchronize.
Maybe the journalists will hire it.
Yeah, we just need to synchronize.
Public contest, and in few days public article.
Very good. Okay, any ideas on this topic? Nothing, really. Guys, be more active, please. I know that you are smart guys and you have your own opinions. Just don't be shy, express yourself. Okay, no one wants to be the first one. Yeah, I just to remind you that we have already the draft for this contest ready for a long time, so we just can launch it as soon as possible. So let's draft the article and synchronize the launch of the contest together with the publication. By the way, guys from Alliance have just published the first news digest in the DeFi group. So you can have a look on it. In fact, there are, I discussed with them, so there are so many news. So it's so hard to choose which ones are the most crucial ones. And this is just an experiment. So I really encourage you to provide your feedback. So if it's useful for you or not. So what you would like to see more, or what topics should be covered more. And I think it's worthwhile for all the community. All right. So just if we don't have any other questions, just a kind reminder to all the jurors that there is a contest for DEXs, DEX implementation stage 1 that ends in 8 days, and almost all participants has published the video demonstrations, and please have a look on them and provide me with feedback if you need the AMA session with participants, because I didn't get any feedback from you. So if you don't want, okay, that's fine. Let's not waste time of each other. But if you do, so please provide me your feedback as soon as possible, because I need to arrange this as well. All right. Yes, Anzor, please.
I have a question about, not about the videos, but about the DEX contest. Might be sort of a noob question, but still. There's this stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 described in the roadmap of the stage 1 contest. So yeah, I wanted to know if there's like a draft for the second stage, or something, because it's a little vague in describing what will exactly the second stage be about.
You mean for the DEX contest?
Yes.
Well, I will just share with you my thoughts, and maybe some other guys have other opinion. In fact, we are right now in quite, as you said, vague environment. So we don't know what will be exactly implemented on the first stage. That's why there are all these milestones. They are quite draft ones, and of course they can change over the time. So we will have a look at which solutions will be the winning ones, and also later discuss what will be the next stages for this contest, because as shows the practice, everything may change very quickly, and if we have drafted some milestones that we currently see them as is, so they may change after the implementation stage. This is pretty much what's happening with bridges. So although we try to stick to all these milestones that were initially drafted, we see that something shouldn't be done, something should be added to that. So I propose to discuss after the first stage has ended.
Yes, I wanted to add that we are looking at two things: at the results, of course, of the first stage, and they might affect the draft of the second stage, because we have to see what were who are the winners, the best approaches, etc. That's why it was very vaguely described in the document. And the second thing, we have to prioritize it with stablecoin contest, because we again don't want to mix those contests together in terms of timelines. We want them to be separate, because we know there are several teams who want to participate in both. So we have to prioritize, and I think that the second stage will be right after the stablecoin implementation stage. So we will have plenty of time to discuss it and come up with the best possible draft for all the teams.
Okay, Anzor?
So yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Yeah, did I get it right? So first, the voting for the first stage ends. Then there's some discussion time and some time for the stablecoin contest, so that it doesn't get mixed with the stage 2, right? And only then there is stage 2 for the DEX, right?
Yes, more or less. I think so. It's my proposal, but that's how I do it.
Yeah,
we will see. Actually, we will see. So because there is also the oracles contest that we discussed earlier, and maybe we will decide that we should not wait for too long and announce the second stage as well. But yeah, so I think it's worth to wait for 1 week to for the first stage to end, and then discuss it precisely.
Okay.
Yeah, Mitya, please. Sorry, Anzor, please.
Sorry, what is the second stage?
That's exactly what Anzor asks.
Exactly my question.
Like we don't have any second stage. We did it all. We have AMM, which is
okay.
kind of almost ready next week. Is that the AMM should be the next stage?
Yes. It's the.
Let's do it then.
Yeah.
Actually,
we can do it without the.
Well, according to the roadmap, which I'm looking at right now, that's listed in the stage 1 contest, the second stage is devoted to complex liquidity pool mechanics. Third one is the complex automated market maker mechanics, which doesn't really make that much sense to me, at least. I mean, it's all like the advanced functionality of DEX, and it doesn't look like a big milestone that's like you reach and then something big changes. So yeah, I just wanted to know if that whole thing listed in the roadmap section of the stage 1 contest is subject to big change, which I suppose it is. And yeah, I just wanted to sort of have like a timeline for the next month or so to understand if to plan, obviously, and to understand what's. And yeah, I also wanted to maybe bring up the topic of the criteria for this first stage. As well, as for me personally, I think they're not really. They're not really like a set of criteria that you can easily match with the results of the contest with the results of the with the submissions that are made for this contest to understand if they match. So it's really hard for them to. It's really hard to understand if they match or not, and it was really hard for us sometimes to understand as participants if we match or not. It's easy for like the bots. Okay, yeah, the bots are mandatory, and there's some support for type 3 tokens, which yeah we discussed, and it was slightly changed. But yeah, I just wanted to know if those if more attention will be paid to make criteria more easy to understand.
Yeah. You have actually touched 2 topics here. So the first one refers to the judging process. Yeah, so and that's why I asked everyone to show and explain how the solution works, because judges, jurors will be assessing the work. I hope everyone will assess personally, but I hope that they will be assessing it fairly by the spirit of the contest. And the second topic is that the contest itself was formed like this because we had several approaches on the architecture and design stage that were not pretty similar in the implementation, and guys tried to make the contest in such a way as to cover all of this. So maybe that causes sometimes some blurry points in the text, but if you have any doubts, so you are free to just address your doubts to jurors before they make the decisions. So don't hesitate to do this.
I actually don't have doubts about jurors. I just wanted for the jurors to be to not be put in a situation where they don't have more or less exact criteria to judge. So just to make it easier for them to understand what's and bring the most value to the community, so we have the highest quality.
Of course.
Solutions.
In fact, when we are talking about some standards for judging, of course, in some time, maybe it will come, like best practices or whatever. But right now, so each juror is independent, and he has his own criteria on how to judge. I personally know at least 10 different approaches on how to assess different works, because I am a juror myself, and in several sub-governances, and I talk to the jury community, and everyone just believes that this or that approach is more suitable to them. But this is how decentralized judging works, actually. So we cannot impose some standards or whatever on jurors, but we can recommend and educate if them don't understand how to do this. That's a whole big issue, so that that needs to be addressed and is addressed systematically in different sub-governances. Yes, Alexander, please.
I want to edit about jury. For me, how I understand, the biggest problem that everybody who come and vote can see previous voting. In one case, it's not so good because he looks for another opinion and maybe stay no so independent. In our case, how I understand what we to do obligatory to voting, and people stay calm and voted before another participant. Before, when it was obligatory, we don't do it nothing. Now they all voting, but voting in the same way like previous. And I think if it will be possible in the future to do smart contract on maybe at least front end where not possible to see marks before the contest ends, it will be the same problem. If it's possible to do, then you can see voting of all jury participants only then contest finished. We can will be vote only jury who understand mechanism and try to go deeper. Who didn't know, who don't know, will be put up abstain.
Yeah, blind voting. Yeah, so it's one of the approaches. I personally think that it is just one of approaches, and it's not the best one, not the worst one. So it can work and cannot. So we won't know unless we try. And I think the major point here is we need to grow our best jurors, so and educate them, grow them, motivate them to bring the highest standards of judging, and that's the main point. Because you remember that when some time ago we just decided to pay to jurors based on the amount of work they did, so on how they voted, and someone just voted for one work, and all others voted for all others and got the reward proportionally. But it helped a little, but at least now the jurors who invest their time to assess all works, they feel that they are rewarded more fairly. But I cannot say that it dramatically increased the quality of judging itself. So I think that we can just elaborate several hypotheses on how to improve judging and try one after another and just find the right solution, just with A/B testing or something like this.
Thank you.
Okay. In fact, that's pretty it for today. So Alexander just dropped something. Constant.
Yes,
limitation in Bitcoin.
Sorry that return to Bitcoin questions. Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I remember that was a contest on atomic swap,
Yeah.
and now I find it
Mm-hmm.
and books. It was about atomic swap with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and with Bitcoin, and pretty good rewards. And I looked, it had some submission and many discussion. Maybe somebody knows how it's finished. Do we have some atomic swap breach with Bitcoin or not? Why we discuss Bitcoin again? Maybe you know.
It's atomic swaps. Yeah, atomic swaps and bridges are a bit different technologies, and they are not even pretty similar in implementation on the both blockchain sites. So I recently discussed with my guys on our OTC solution for atomic swaps, and the implementations that we had several months ago for Bitcoin swap. So it doesn't seem so good right now already. So, and that's why we are working it, and hopefully we will also show something in coming months. But the main issue here, actually, there is a whole set of issues linked with atomic swaps. Including privacy, including how it should be implemented, and in both blockchains on the client side, should we use or not some off-chain server side. There's a big bunch of questions rising from it. Yeah, and also technologies don't stand just on one place, and so they also have progress, and things change. For example, at that time, so we were targeting signing transactions with hardware like Ledger or Trezor. I don't remember exactly which one, but for some reason there were some changes, so that integration doesn't work anymore. So it needs to be upgraded, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so actually it's a good product, and I hope that we will show some updated version soon, from our side at least. But it's not the breach itself, so these are different technologies. Yes, Alex, please.
You say that you talked with your guys and they told you that this solution is not very good. Could you clarify more on this, please?
I don't remember all exact technical stuff that they said. So if you want, I just will collect some feedback from them for the next call and just explain more in details what was going on there, because they changed, I think, 3 or 4 frameworks to optimize the work of this atomic swap solution. So it was not an easy game at all. So that's why, yeah, I discussed with them.
Please, it would be very valuable. Thank you.
Sure. I will just make a note for myself.
What I mean about breach with Bitcoin, it's not the same that breach with Ethereum, yes?
Absolutely not.
Not totally the breach, and it's more closer to atomic swap, not?
The main issue here is that Bitcoin doesn't work like Ethereum. They are two absolutely different things in terms of so-called smart contracts. There is no smart contracts in Bitcoin. There are scripts, and I'm not a very proficient guy to discuss about scripting in Bitcoin, but I remember something from my tech guys were saying, and it's always a nightmare to write scripts in Bitcoin. And I remember that for atomic swap, it's HTLC contracts, and for the bridge there should be HTLC, not contract, but HTLC script. For bridge solution, there should be another approach. Which one I don't know, because we don't have the architecture and design context yet. So that's why we want to launch it.
Yeah, good idea. In this case, good idea. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so
I can like comment on Bitcoin.
Yes, please.
Part. The problem is like the implement. It's actually like it comes down to the very simple question: how do you implement like escrow on Bitcoin?
Yeah.
And there are some research in this area, like including very recent research using this new Shamir, signatures that Bitcoin just implemented. So there are ways to do that. I don't even know if we need. Well, we do need a design stage, definitely, which should be based on this research. That research that
yes, if you can share it, so please, everyone.
No, not this particular
grateful.
research. I'm saying the general research of of this problem in Bitcoin, because I don't think we are going to invent anything.
Absolutely.
For Bitcoin currently. So it's a research. It's more like a researcher work. You need to go and to understand what people are writing, analyze that, and kind of base your proposal on that.
Maybe the only criteria here is that it should be acknowledged research. So meaning that it's not some article on the web written by someone without verifying that what is written there is correct. But maybe some.
There is actually a paper like which I see now coming 28th of February 2020. For example, on this using this new ECDSA scheme.
Okay.
Of Bitcoin. So I just actually Googled it. So you can use.
Can drop a link, please, in the DeFi
sure.
chat. Thank you so much. Okay. So our agenda is over. So if anyone has some other topics to discuss, so now the time for open questions, please. Okay, sounds good. Okay, in this case, thank you everyone for attending, and I wish you a brilliant weekend, and see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, goodbye.